Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about specifically 5 different things to look for when touring property. And as your realtor, as we're walking through the property, I will point out these things and keep you aware. Number 1 is the age of the roof and the age of the AC. These are important because these are big ticket items. So even before going out to see the property, I would call up the agent and ask them how old is the roof and how old is the AC. So if the roof is a brand new roof, that's amazing. You have $20,000 you get to keep in your pocket that you don't have to invest in a couple years in getting a new roof to make sure that you're safe and sound. And then same thing with the AC. Oh my gosh, especially in Florida, you need a working AC. Like it's so hard to sleep, especially at night. It's so hard to sleep in a hot house. It's just not comfortable at all. And that's a big ticket item. So you want to make sure that the AC is newer or is, has a good amount of years left. Newer is the best, right? Who wants to spend money on a new AC after you just bought the house? So a roof that's new, an AC that's new, or in good working condition. It doesn't have to be brand spanking new, but in good working condition. Those are good things to keep an eye out for. And it's good to also figure out before the tour, but also it depends. I'll get into that later. Later we'll talk about that towards the end of the video. So stick around. Number 2 is any water stains on the ceiling or anywhere in the house, really any water stains or any mold stains while you're touring the house. These are things to keep an eye out for, right? Um, for instance, going in the bathroom, looking under the cabinet, opening the cabinet and looking underneath, or going in the kitchen, looking underneath the kitchen cabinet, looking up at the ceilings, looking at the walls. Are there any stains that may predict that there is an underlying issue? And this is questions that you can also ask the listing agent, or then the listing agent can ask the homeowner if the issue has been remediated, which it may or may not be the truth if it has been remediated. But these are things to look out for because and this is while touring the property. Of course, when you decide to put an offer in on the property and move forward, then you are going to go do an inspection, right? If you choose, which I highly recommend to always do an inspection. But these are things to look out for. If the home was not your absolute favorite and you see these issues, then maybe an inspection may not be worth it. Maybe it may be too much to pour into the house than you initially expected. Um, and this is not for investors, right? Because investors are kind of used to this. Investors are used to issues with the house, an older roof or an older AC or stains or things that they have to remediate, but they're okay with that because they're probably going to go in and gut the place anyways and take everything out and make it new. So this video is more for your buyer that doesn't want to deal with anything or wants to deal with very minimal, right? So water stains and any stains in general, look out for that and see if this is a property that you want to continue with. Another thing, number 3 thing to look out for is, are there any droppings? Are there any dropping from pests? Are there any termite poop, for example? Or do you see pests running around? Because then that's an issue that either the homeowner has to remediate, which would be ideal, or you have to remediate. So you have to get the house fumigated. You have to get a pest control to come out and clean up the place. That's another cost to think about. And number 4, is the house on septic tank or is it on sewer? And this is another thing that you can look at before you tour the house, or you can have the realtor ask before you tour the house. Do you want to have to deal with having a septic company come out and empty out your tank every maybe 6 months, depending on how many people are in the house, every 6 months or so, to empty out the tank? Do you want to deal with that? Or do you want to just have the city take care of it, right? Um, number 5, number 5 thing that you want to look out for when touring properties is, what are the rules and regulations of the HOA, if there is an HOA, right? Let's say that you love to garden and gardening is your whole heart and your whole passion. And it turns out that the HOA does not let you garden in front of the house or maybe in the back of the house. Um, Honestly, I can't think of, I'm sure there's probably an HOA out there that won't let you garden. And you can only probably have potted plants and you can't go into the ground. There are HOAs like that. So is that going to affect your quality of life? Is that going to make you really, really like just unhappy because you love to garden? Or another great example is if you have a commercial truck, right? You own a business or you work in a company where you have to store the commercial truck. And the HOA is like, no, we do not allow commercial trucks, or we do not allow motorcycles, or we do not allow X amount of cars and parked in front of your house, right? Is that going to affect your quality of life? Is that going to be extremely inconvenient, extremely inefficient, right? So these are things that you want to look out for. You want to make sure that you and your realtor work out together to look out for before you go touring properties. Yes, the house might be absolutely amazing, but if these things affect your quality of life, your quality of living, or is making you spend extra money, extra unneeded money, then maybe this is not the right house for you, right? Um, Now, of course, all of these items, all five of the things that I mentioned, and I'll go ahead and mention them again. Number one is the age of the roof and the age of the AC, right? Take a look at that. Number two is, are there any water stains on the wall, on the ceiling, anywhere in the house? Are there any water or mold stains or questionable stains? That's number two. Number three, are there any pest droppings anywhere in the house? Are there pests running around? Right? Number four, is the house on septic or is it on sewer? And number five, what are the rules and regulations of the HOA? These are five things to look for when touring properties. And of course, all those five things that I just mentioned do not have to be a deal breaker, especially if one, this is the absolute perfect location for you. The house is the absolute perfect location for you, and there's no other house in the area, right? And you're willing to either make the purchases or have the realtor negotiate for the homeowner to fix these issues. And then another reason that it doesn't have to be a deal breaker is if you plan on gutting the whole entire house. If you're an investor or you just love the neighborhood, you love the house, and you want to gut it and have it redone and have a contractor come in and do everything, then these things may not matter because you're going to make the house the way that you want it, anyways. Um, and obviously, if it's a new construction, then, well, everything is new and like pristine, so none of that matters. So these are five things to look for when touring a property with your realtor. Let me know if you have any questions, and stay tuned to parts 2, 3, 4, and however more, because there are so many things to look for when touring a property. See you next time.